Ladies and gentlemen, England draw. I think me and a lot of England fans were wrong. We got to give a big shout out to Ghana. Listen, Ghana, you guys came in, yeah. I didn't underestimate you. I did think England would win, and I said it won't be easy, but you guys made it very, very hard. You made it hard because you did not allow England to play football. England did not play football until like the 85th minute in this match. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Road to 500 subscribers. I'll be doing a shirt giveaway for that. So let's get there. We're not far away. And one of you guys could be the lucky winner. So yeah, England versus Ghana. What did we learn? Tell you what I learned. I learned that there's two players that stood out for me that did absolutely crap and may need to think about being dropped by the manager for the next game. Now, obviously, England and Ghana are both on 4 points. They look like they're going to be advancing, of course. But you can just see that Ghana, through their brutal, relentless defending, their bullying tactics, they were able to not allow England to flow. Now, is this a worrying sign? I wouldn't call it a worrying sign just yet. It's still very early. But it's clear to see that teams like Ghana, when they come up with a game plan, they can get into England's head. And I mean, I know some people might say the officiating was a bit poor. There were some instances where I know Rashford jumped for the header, got the ball clean, and ref blew the whistle. Yes, I get that, but at the same time, you know, we did have our chances. We did have our chances. Look, we had a chance cleared off the line. Yeah, Nico O'Reilly had to hit the crossbar. And then what happens? The ball comes to a player which you would have every single day of the week to finish in front of goal. And then what happens? What ends up happening is, Harry Kane, ends up skying it back to England Stadium. Yeah, that's where the ball went. I don't know where that ball went, but it did not go back of the net. Declan Rice. He doesn't look like himself. I feel like he definitely needs a few games of rest before playing. I feel like he's doing substantial amount of running, and I feel like it's kind of affecting him. I'm not just saying that, but I did mention it in the last game against Croatia as well. You know, there's things that are going on physically with him that he needs to kind of just, you know, make sure he's careful because, you know, he's human at the end of the day. And the amount of running he does for the team, not only for Arsenal, but for England, it can be quite dangerous and could impact your career and shorten it. I'll tell you what, there's a standout player for me. Some of you guys might have a different opinion. I want to talk about Ghana as well. But the standout player for me in England was actually Jed Spence. Can't be complimenting the Tottenham guy, but I think Jed Spence had a fantastic game. I think when he came off, I was a bit surprised. I mean, look, if Nico O'Reilly scored that header and it went in, we would be like, you know what? Great tactical substitution. But I felt like Jed Spence had a great game. I was quite surprised he came off. I think Thomas Tuchel, made the substitutions a bit too late. I think Gordon had a poor game, and I think Madueke had a poor game as well. And because they had a poor game, there was no creativity. I think once Marcus Rashford and Saka came on, we saw a bit more creativity in terms of crosses. Saka actually tested the keeper, and that was the 85th minute. But again, England just could not get the stride going. Now, Ghana, the players, I don't know what they had this morning, whether it was 6 boiled eggs and some Weetabix, but these guys are strong, man. And let me tell you something. These guys are strong. And another thing is they've got energy. They're missing Kudus. They've got Semenyo. They've got some top ballers in there. They've got Thomas Partey as well. They've got a few. They've got an Arsenal player, ex-Arsenal player. But they came and they made it very, very hard for England. And they are pleased to walk away with a draw because I think, even myself included, we all thought that England will probably brush the floor with Ghana. I did say that it would be a bit tricky, but I feel like England will win by a comfortable margin of 3-1. But look, how wrong we all were. And I have to give big respect to Ghana. They came out, executed the game plan, like I said earlier. And, you know, they did the low block and it was working. If it works and you're holding back star players from England from advancing, from doing what they usually do, which is creativity, that means the tactic is working. The substitutions they make, Semenyo as well, he didn't have a bad game. But, I mean, look, if we look at players that England have in terms of creativity, Bellingham, we look at Anderson, we look at Declan Rice, and then our wingers. Our wingers were probably the weakest factor of our game today. Ghana, however, I feel like they had more clear-cut chances. I think they were very unfortunate not to score, actually. And I know the Pickford foul was given for England, but I feel like that was a Ghana foul, I'll be honest. I'm not going to be biased here and say, no, it wasn't. It definitely was a foul to Ghana, in my opinion. Now, moving forward, obviously, England still have, some games left in this group. And it's important that we go out and use this game, and use these games to think about how we're going to approach it. Because when we go to the knockout stages, round of 32, round 16, wherever it is, you're going to come up against teams that might kill you when they have an opportunity in front of goal. Yes, I'm talking about the Frances. Yes, I might be talking about the Germanys. Whoever it is. I think Ghana were unlucky today not to win. Yeah, the amount of overhead balls and through balls that they will get in, it could have went left. Konsa, made a last-ditch challenge. You can see by the England players' faces at the end, they weren't happy with the result. But yeah, England need to fix up, basically, is what I'm saying. But I just want to thank everybody for watching along. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Well done to Ghana for playing really, really well. I know the Ghanaian fans in my match predictions were torturing me in the comments. But listen, you have to have faith in your own team. I'm English. Of course, I'm going to back my boys. But I do respect when a team comes out, plays against England, and hold them back, or even winning or drawing. You guys played well, fantastic, well done. And like I said, big respects to Ghana. The Ghanaian players got some fantastic players. So yeah, till the next one.